Friday night NBA on TNT. Can the mailman deliver in the Magic Kingdom? Or will the return of Shaq send the Jazz packing? Jazz Magic tonight at 8 on TNT.
And he's back with a brace on his right thumb. Right, Craig Sager?
Well, Shaq is wearing a protective plastic splint on his right hand that sticks out like a sore thumb. When he tore the ligament in preseason, the thumb actually bent all the way back to the forearm. Now, the splint he is wearing tonight protects the surgically repaired ligament, but allows movement in the IP joint. That's near the tip. It also allows flexibility in the wrist. For one who added Man of Steel to his tattoo that says Superman, he will not be timid tonight, and after having Tree Rollins beat up on him all week, he says there's no worry that this will be a recurring injury. He's ready to go in about 5 minutes.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. Here are the starting matchups tonight, and a big one between Hardaway and Stockton, Hubie.
Yeah, they're going to test Stockton. They will post them up whichever man Stockton plays, whether Hardaway, Anderson, or Scott. They will continue to take him into the post.
And note that Brian Russell is starting at the number 3 spot, the small forward spot for the Utah Jazz. He started there the last 6 games. David Benoit will come off the bench. Here is Penny Hardaway to Dennis Scott, who misses from the perimeter, and a whistle early.
Number 45.
And John Koncak picks up the personal, and he's been picking up. He's been disqualified 5 times this year as he starts in place of Shaquille. Shaquille O'Neal said he wanted not to start this game tonight, but to come off the bench when he enters the game, and Brian Hill tells us that will happen sometime relatively early in the first period.
Utah right now, they're not in their half-court set. They're running what we call an open set, keeping the middle, just screening, and everyone going without the ball.
3 seconds on the shot clock. Stockton has to force a shot. He goes down, rebound Koncak. Here's Hardaway as the Orlando Magic can't run it. Utah back very quickly. Felton Spencer back off the ruptured Achilles. He missed 10 months. Then he had a shoulder injury. He's playing at center for the Utah Jazz.
Now, John Stockton felt that he was fouled at the other end of the floor, and he was complaining about his left arm being injured, and he did not get the call. Now, at this end of the floor, they're going to continue to really work on Stockton. You can see they're taking him into the post now for the first time. Stockton bellied up on that.
Stockton was called for the personal, his first of the ball game. Looking for Malone. We've seen that pass a lot of times. Karl Malone, turnaround jumper won't fall. Utah looking a little flat here, as both teams do. Nobody has scored yet in the first minute and 15 seconds. Illegal defense called against Utah. By the way, regular officials are back. They came back on Tuesday. Dan Crawford, Mike Callahan, and Sean Coburn are the officials for tonight's ball game.
The illegal defense was called on Stockton. His man was above the top of the circle, and he broke the foul line plane.
Nick Anderson trying to back in. They reverse it to Dennis Scott for the short jumper for Dennis, and that's his first 2.
Well, there was a breakdown in their coverage. John Stockton is a designated double teamer. When Stockton double teamed that time, he ran out to pick up the free man. Unfortunately, he and Morris were both on the guy with the ball.
Utah still to score in this game. Penny Hardaway has Scott and Grant. Scott will pull up for the jumper. Grant with the rebound. Grant's averaging 9 rebounds a game and about 12.5 points for the Orlando Magic.
Well, when you play Orlando, you must always be prepared for the three-point shot.
And John Koncak has a nice 17-footer, and he drops it down. John's been averaging 5.5 points, 6 rebounds, starting in place of Shaquille O'Neal, and Utah has not hit a shot yet. They are 0-4 in the first 2.5 minutes of this game. Malone for the first bucket of the game for the Jazz.
That was just a beautiful double screen for Stockton, and they curled 2 people off the screen.
Posting up Anderson again against Brian Russell. And there's that illegal defense. This one will be a technical foul and a free throw.
Now, you're going to see the double screen right here. They have it here, and you'll see Stockton come up into this area. It's just a beautiful read. Now, once he comes up in here, watch how Malone steps out to the corner, wide open.
Dennis Scott hits the free throw. It's 5-2 Orlando, 9:32 to go in the first period of play. And following the second illegal defense called on Utah, the Magic with the ball. Shaquille not yet in the game. He'll be coming off the bench. You'll certainly hear the crowd sometime in this first period. Hardaway, who has been the man in the absence, shows you why.
Well, that was just beautiful. Stockton fought Hardaway. It was difficult for him to get his post, but once he received the pass, it's going to be all over, mainly because of the size difference and the fact that Hardaway is 20 pounds heavier this year.
Chris Morris, no stranger to the jump shot. Turns around and knocks that one down. We're talking about Hardaway, 26.4 points, 5.5 rebounds, nearly 7 assists a game. He's really done it all and really stepped up his game in terms of maturity also to lead Orlando to their 17-5 record thus far. 7 on the shot clock. Dennis Scott, 4-3.
Well, Dennis
Scott with 6.
Dennis is having some season. He averages 7 attempts a game. He's leading the league in makes at 2.8, right around 3 a ball game. And if you notice, they make that second pass out of the double team, and he opens up always on the opposite side of where the double team happens.
Another good matchup here. Horace Grant and Karl Malone. Morris open. Misses the long one. Malone with a rebound. Karl is averaging 10 rebounds a game. Had 22 rebounds a couple of weeks ago.
Well, they're very methodical. They'll take their time.
Illegal defense called on Orlando.
I want to bring this out. We've had 3 illegal defenses called. You say, why? Well, anytime that they've been playing exhibition games in the early season with only 2 guys refereeing, they could break that foul line, and very few nights it was called at a consistent basis. And you can see Utah is getting caught here right now.
Chris Morris with a nearly impossible shot. I guess it is since it didn't go in. But he does draw the foul and will go to the line. It's on John Koncak, and Koncak has picked up 2 fouls very early. Told you he's fouled out 5 times this season in 22 games. Shaquille O'Neal will enter the game sometime in this first period. Last year's leading scorer, Joe Wolf, with the head pat for Shaquille. He's kind of keeping him on the bench there, keeping him calm until it's time to enter the game.
Unreleased, guys.
Well, Morris has been an excellent addition for Utah. He's getting right at 14 points a game, only playing 26 minutes. The main objective for Morris is that he takes high percentage shots within this methodical offense.
Chris has 4 points. 10-6 Orlando. 7:47 to go, first period.
See, they're going to make Stockton play defense tonight.
Beautiful play by Brian Russell. Stepped into the lane with the steal and gets the bunny lay in.
Well, Russell very, very quick at 6'7". He's excellent in denying the passing lane.
Brian Russell played almost not at all the first 14 games. That's when David Benoit was starting. But Benoit, who had terrific offensive problems in scoring, went to the bench 6 games ago, and Russell's playing pretty well. Driving hard to the hoop is Dennis Scott, as we pointed out last Friday night. That's something new to Dennis's game.
Well, in his entire career, he's only averaged 2 foul shot attempts throughout his career. Already this year, he's attempting 5. They're posting him up a lot more. And then also, when they rotate the ball out to him, he's going to the basket and he's breaking the defense down.
Scott, an 85% free throw shooter. Now, this time, the personal foul, by the way, was on Morris. And here comes Shaquille O'Neal. Dennis Scott says, thanks a lot between my free throws. And listen to the crowd. They're on their feet. This is last year's NBA scoring champion, Shaquille O'Neal, his first action of this season.
Main thing Brian Hill is worried about is his conditioning. Naturally, it's a game of spurts.
Horace Grant with the rebound off the Chris Morris miss. Keel's going to touch the ball for the first time. Dalton Spencer trying to defend him. The big fella's turnaround jumper won't fall. Rebound, Malone. Shaquille in about 85% basketball shape, which is not bad condition. They're hoping to get about 24 minutes from Shaquille in this game tonight. He can't play much longer. My head wouldn't stand it with those shoes. Catch the shoes. Timeout, Orlando. And the foul is on Shaquille O'Neal. Back to the arena in a moment.
It's the Magic score 110 points. There are all kinds of reasons we created Ford Windstar with over 40 standard safety features like dual airbags and anti-lock brakes. Reasons it has the government's highest front crash test rating and offers a more powerful V6 engine than any other minivan. We did all this for a lot of different reasons, and some identical ones. Introducing the 1996 Ford Windstar, created for the most important people in the world.
Tomorrow, the artistry of Nancy Kerrigan set to the holiday sounds of Aaron Neville in a TNT Holiday Special. Christmas on Ice, tomorrow at 8.
Stockton bounced into Carl.
Karl Malone and John Stockton, they've been able to do it for a decade and do it very effectively.
What a pass by Stockton.
Stockton's main focus is getting the ball to Karl Malone, because Karl Malone is going to finish. That's why they call him the mailman, because he delivers.
The mailman, what a play!
Anytime you turn your head, it's too late. That's how good they are.
John Stockton and Karl Malone, 2 parts of the Dream Team, coming this summer.
Nobody else has it. Only Headline News Sports Ticker continuously updates scores in a flash, even while games are in progress. Headline News Sports Ticker, weekday evenings and all weekend long. From now on, you'll always know the score.
Shaquille O'Neal was activated on December 8th, but didn't play at New Jersey or at Chicago. One of the many reasons was he wanted to play in his first game back at home in front of his mom, Craig Sager.
Well, Shaq got a standing ovation when he returned, but his biggest fan right here, Lucille Harrison, his mom. And what was it like during this time period he was gone, for you and for Shaq?
Well, it was probably frustrating for him to sit on the end of the bench and watch, but I came out and I supported the whole Orlando Magic, and they did pretty good without him. They did real good without him, matter of fact.
He went through a down period there where he said he wanted to have the tattoo removed that said Superman. What did you tell him to kind of get his hopes up and get his spirits back?
I told him to just, you know, take it all in stride, because you can play and, you know, it's almost inevitable that you're going to get injured one day. So that let him know that he is not Superman. He is human, and, you know, he just has to take the injury and sit back and get well and go back out there and get started all over again.
What type of game do you expect from him tonight?
Well, an easy game. I think he's going to play his way back into the game, you know, little by little. I don't think he's 100% yet. So I believe that he's just going to, you know, come back in a little at a time.
We'll leave you alone, let you enjoy the game. Bob?
Thanks, Craig. Nick Anderson posting up Brian Russell. This time Nick Anderson gets the turnaround jumper off the glass, his first hoop of the game. And we have a 4-point, 13-9 Orlando lead with 6:15 to go in the first period. Morris is fouled by Anderson as he drives.
The strategy for Utah early is rather interesting. If you notice, everything is going with Morris on a screen and roll on the right side of the floor, or they're posting Morris up on the left side of the floor. Stockton and Malone are really secondary and third options within the half-court set.
Stockton down inside will bring it back out again. Malone has one hoop. Stockton has yet to score in the game.
Nice.
Oh, come on. Misses this time. Shaquille gets the rebound, and the outlet is almost stolen by Stockton, but Hardaway's going to take it all the way to the hole. He's fouled.
See, Stockton slipped right in front of our table here. He was trying to make the steal, but then when he didn't get it, he was trying to recover, but he slipped on the floor.
Stockton's playing with a sore ankle. He had treatment on it again today. He sprained it last Thursday and thought he was going to miss a game, but he did not.
Now, here it is right there. You can see he slips, and he went right down on the floor. You know, fortunately, he did not come into the table.
And spill our coffee.
There's a crossover in matchups right now. Scott, for Orlando, is playing Russell. Small forward, small forward. But at the other end of the floor, Russell is matched up at a defensive area. He is playing against Nick Anderson. And they are moving Morris down the floor to match up with Scott.
Crowd with a few boos because Karl Malone threw the ball off the legs of Shaquille to get the ball back inbound for the Utah Jazz, trailing now 14-9 with 5:40 to go in the first quarter.
The Utah offense, you know, they only have won one out of the last 4 games. And the reason for that is their half court is not fluid. Now, that was a beautiful pass by Malone. Then the big factor for that is that Morris, as well as the small forward, whether it's Benoit or Russell, keep ending up with the shots in the big games with the shot clock going down.
You know, Morris has 7 points already in this one. Russell 2, Malone 2, and that's the only score.
Oh, beautiful.
Shaquille is hit hard as he tries to get the ball up and in on the nice pass. And the foul is on Chris Morris.
That was a great pass by Scott. Now just watch as he dips down in and takes the double team to shovel off to the Shaq man. Shaq didn't catch that cleanly, or he could have been up strong with a possible three-point play.
Brian Hill told us today he didn't want to jinx Shaq, but says since he came back from practice, he's been shooting his free throws better than before he hurt his hand.
Well, anything is better. And if you think about it, he shot 55% when he was at LSU, and he's shooting 53% since he's been in the NBA. And you're just hoping that maybe, you know, everyone thought that it was just strictly a ligament, but he also had a piece of bone taken out of that thumb area.
He knocks them both down. Shaquille's first 2 points back off the injured list, missing 22 games. Our free throws. Hornacek, by the way, has entered the lineup for the Utah Jazz. He's in a slump himself.
Well, he is. The shooting is down to 46%, and for him, that's unheard of. He's consistently up around 50%.
There's the mismatch as Shaquille stepped out on Stockton. Felton Spencer gets the open shot, just beating the buzzer down inside. It's a 3-point Orlando lead.
Well, when you play in this building, when you score as the opponent, you must get back quickly because they inbounded up that right side.
Shaquille isolated, misses the turnaround jumper. Rebound, Hardaway lost out of bounds. It'll be Magic ball with 23 on the shot clock and 4:29 to go in the first period. Felton Spencer just recently off the injured list. Hardaway knocks down the 3 and has 6.
Penny, he's got it all going this year. He's now 29 for 81. He's shooting right about 36% in threes.
Stockton, Malone wanted the quick pick and roll, didn't get it. Now Hornacek will try the two-man game. And Malone's turnaround will go down. Karl Malone has 4.
Now, if you're zeroing in early, Grant is playing Karl Malone straight up. They are not running any double teams. That will not happen unless Grant picks up a couple of fouls.
Now they're posting Hardaway against Stockton.
Yeah, there's your
the double
rotation.
team. Leaves Dennis Scott open for the triple, and Dennis has 10 points in this first quarter.
Well, you got to love it. I mean, you know, he's having such a banner year. He's shooting 45% in threes because he's 2 for 2 tonight, and he launches 7 a game. But you notice they're breaking down because Stockton is being posted, and they must double team.
Malone throws up an air ball, 22-15, Magic by 7. That's their biggest lead.
Okay, go get it. Oh, beautiful.
To Shaquille from Hardaway.
You could see that baby coming. That was eye contact as O'Neal came into the lane. He was fronted, eye contact. He reversed and went right to the rim.
Orlando by 9.
Every few years, the world gathers to witness an unparalleled sports spectacle, the Truckathlon. And to compete, you have to have a Ford Ranger 4x4, because you'll need its switch-on four-wheel drive for truck long jump. Its four-wheel anti-lock brakes for truck discus. And its whopping 4-liter V6 for truck hurdles. The Ford Ranger 4x4. You can't win without one.
Next event. Truck pole vault. There are Christmas gifts. And then there are Christmas gifts from Westlake. Great gifts, like this variable speed reversing DeWalt cordless drill. And this state-of-the-art Presto microwave popcorn popper. Shop Westlake for Christmas. Know-how in ho-hos, not ho-hum.
We deliver more than cars, just ask Dave and Kim. They came to Cable Dahmer Chevrolet Geo Mazda looking for V8 power, a great ride, and anti-lock brakes. With Cable Dahmer Chevrolet's 8.5 acres of cars, trucks, and vans, plus special good neighbor financing, it didn't take long to find just what they were looking for. So, Dave and Kim, well, they both found just the right Chevy. Come see us at Cable Dahmer Chevrolet Geo Mazda on the Miracle Mile, Nolan Road, Independence.
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the expressed written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
See, once again, Scott is posting up John Stockton. Now, with that, Spencer leaves O'Neal and comes on the double team. With that, O'Neal goes to the front of the rim. Now watch what happens to the defender right here and his man, Scott, who opens up. Now keep an eye on that side. Now there goes Spencer. What happens? Hornacek must go with O'Neal, opens up Dennis Scott, and that is death because he is on fire this year in threes.
10 points in the first period with 3 minutes to go for Dennis Scott, and the Magic have a 9-point lead. 3-second violation, and it'll be Orlando ball. Jerry Sloan says he's not been happy with the way his team has been playing, despite the fact they have a 14-6 record.
Well, he doesn't like the movement of the ball and also the hesitation when either you should shoot or drive. Let's see if they can clean that up here on the first game of the 6-game road trip.
Felton Spencer, no match for the big man. Shaquille O'Neal came back in here, what, 18 pounds, at least 16, 18 pounds heavier, with heavier muscle than he did last year, and Orlando's on a 10-2 run. No, blocked by Shaquille. Saved by Hardaway, stolen by Russell. Stockton. He's gone down about 3 times tonight.
Big
Brian Russell hits a triple, and that was a big one to stop the bleeding.
See, Brian Russell is a 44% three-point shooter. He's now 8 for 17. He's really doing an excellent job.
Scott posting, but somebody deflected the pass attempt, and here comes Hornacek losing the handle, but drops it in anyway. Boy, that's poise.
That was a great fumble and a terrific recovery. He made that look easy.
26-20 now. Utah making a run, and Stockton has 6 assists already in this game. 15 in his last 2 each. Grant from the perimeter. Horace Grant loves that shot. They like him there. That's his first hoop of the night.
Penny Hardaway.
Brian Shaw is going to be in the ball game soon for Orlando. Hornacek with 10 on the shot clock. Looking for Felton Spencer against Shaquille. Tough shot. It's not going to go, and Horace Grant gets his rebound. Minute 15 to go in the first quarter. Orlando's been shooting lights out, 67% thus far. Foul on Stockton, and that's his second.
Well, that was just a beautiful move by Penny Hardaway. He faked like he was going to his left off of a screen and roll, and instead he just used a hesitation move and blew right by Stockton, forcing John to foul.
Penny Hardaway steps to the free throw line. Among other things, Hardaway shooting 79% from the charity mark. He's a heavier, stronger Penny Hardaway than last year.
Well, he's 20 pounds. He lifted all summer in Memphis. You can see the definition in his body. And already this year, he has scored over 37 times.
Howard Isley has entered the ball game. A technical on Stockton. He was giving Dan Crawford an earful while that free throw was being shot. Stockton goes to the bench with that technical. Shot by Dennis Scott, and Howard Isley, who was picked up out of Rockford of the CBA, comes in at the point in place of John Stockton.
One more.
And Hardaway now has another free throw. That builds the lead for Orlando to 10 with 1:10 to go in the period. Here's Isley. He was in the Utah training camp. Looking for Russell. Pretty good pass. Jerry Sloan told today Isley has the mentality of a point guard and doesn't do a bad job for a few minutes. Brian Russell, not ashamed to shoot it, knocks it down.
Well, 2 years ago, Russell started 60 games for Utah. Benoit has been struggling this year, only shooting 40%. So Jerry is trying to go with another look, and Russell is really answering the bell from an offensive standpoint.
Shaw with a bullet pass inside to Shaquille, kicks it back with 8 on the shot clock now. The lob inside to Hardaway. It won't fall, but Hardaway gets his own rebound and draws the foul.
Hardaway is just murder this year because not only is he scoring, and everybody is saying, well, you know, he's scoring 26 points a game, he's shooting a high percentage, but the big key is the rebounding. He is averaging 5 rebounds a game, and you're going to see him right here elevate up over the top. And this is where he's getting to the foul line because he's posting people up and he's getting on the offensive glass.
8 points for Penny tonight with 3 rebounds and 5 assists already. David Benoit has entered the game for Utah.
Well, you can see the stats for the month of November. It's just been outstanding. But I like the fact that he's so much stronger in the upper body, and you cannot knock him off the box because when you do foul him, he'll still come with the score. Now, right now, they're in a 2-2-1 zone press. First time that they have showed it this evening.
4-second difference in the game in shot clocks. This is Isley. Get the pick and roll from Malone. Beautiful. Makes the pass. Draws the foul from Shaquille, and that'll be 2 on Shaq.
Well, that was an excellent screen and roll. Isley, you know, people say, well, you know, where did he come from? Isley was drafted by Minnesota on the 2nd round, the 30th pick in '94. He played with Minnesota and San Antonio. Last year, he played 40 games. This year, he went into the Utah camp and was cut as the last guard.
Played for Rockford in the CBA until he was called up last week. There's a look at the youngster. And Malone misses the free throw, a rarity. Joe Wolf gets into the ball game. Antoine Carr is also checking in as we look at other NBA action tonight. Ernie Johnson will have all the details, highlights, comments with Dikembe Mutombo in the studio on our game tonight at halftime.
Well, Brian Hill is hoping to get Shaq about 24 minutes. We'll see him play in spurts, and that's the best way to do it. And build him up in 6-minute spurts, and then as he gets going over the next week, hope by the New York game next Friday night, he'll be able to play his 38 to 40 minutes.
Yeah, you and I will be back here for that game on TNT next Friday night. The Knicks and Orlando, a big Atlantic Division game, obviously, the 1-2 teams in the Atlantic Division, as Horace Grant took the shot at the buzzer. After one, the Magic, 32 points, and they're holding the #1 scoring team in the NBA, the Utah Jazz, to only 23 points in the first 12 minutes.
I like the job.
Hey, baby. We were just talking about you.
In the tradition of the longest yard, seize the action with Goldie Hawn, Woody Harrelson, and Wesley Snipes in Wildcats. Sunday at noon on TNT.
Tuesday night NBA on TNT. Barkley, KJ, Drexler, Hakeem. They went 7 games in last season's playoff battle. Now they meet again. Suns, Rockets. Tuesday at 8 on TNT.
What are the odds of the sharper image of Continental Airlines Grand Destinations, Royal Caribbean Cruises, and FTD all having a sale at exactly the same time? Actually, they're quite good. Presenting master values from MasterCard. Immediate savings of 10 to 40% at places all over right now. Exclusively for people who use MasterCard.
Life rarely imitates orange cones. Orange cones, however, can be made to imitate life. At Lexus, we've created a suspension system so advanced, it's smooth when you want it to be, and responsive when you need it to be. The 1996 LS400. Impossible, the laws of Lexus state otherwise.
Let's face it, people. Anthony Hardaway is the best player in the NBA. And it's becoming very clear that
Hey, Bennett, is this couch real leather? Because it's sticking to my leg.
With the serious moves. Who's the man with the coolest shoes?
The new Air Penny from Nike.
Well, I guess Spike Lee wasn't available.
Beautiful Orlando, great day here today, about 80, sunny skies. Eat your heart out if you're in the cold north. Of course, they're calling it Hollywood East, Hollywood South, Universal Studios nearby, Disney World. Shaquille O'Neal's opening a couple of restaurants here. It's a hot place to be, and we're ready to start the second quarter with the Orlando Magic leading it by 9.
Orlando shooting 59%, 47 for Utah. They are 3 for 5 in threes, 9 for 12 on the foul line, and winning the rebounding 11-5.
Scott has 11 points. Hardaway 9 points for Orlando to lead them in scoring. Russell and Morris have 7 apiece for Utah. Illegal defense against Orlando.
Defense against the Magic. That is a technical foul.
What's happening is tonight, the player who is the designated double teamer is breaking the foul line area, but he's not coming hard enough and quick enough for the double team. And if you hesitate at all in the lane, they call illegal defense.
So Orlando has to adjust tonight to the return of Shaquille O'Neal, and they have to adjust to the return of the 3 regular officials. A double adjustment for the Magic, just a single adjustment for the Utah Jazz. Utah, by the way, has had a few days off as they began this 6-game Eastern trip that takes them through Christmas Day before they return home. Utah lost 3 and then beat Charlotte on Monday night and have rested till this game here. That fouls against Shaw.
Well, they're being very consistent here. I mean, if you just put a hand on the guy in this game this evening, they are calling a foul.
Hornacek to Howard Isley. Defended by Shaw.
And this is the guy they've got to get going. Antoine Carr.
Hornacek also been really struggling. That was not a good look.
Now, that was a tough shot. He was off balance that time.
Dennis Scott, 10 points, 11 points in the first period. Posting Shaw against the much shorter Isley. And the foul is going to be called against Isley. That's his first.
Well, you're allowed to use your forearm and hold the player in the post area, but you're not allowed to bump him. Now, just keep an eye on this. The Isley has bumped him and pushed him off. That's an automatic foul. But they will allow you to put that forearm in his low back.
Anthony Bowie into the game for Orlando. Joe Wolf. And Dennis Scott. Scott's going to take it to the hoop. He beats Benoit. And Malone was there to cause him to miss the lay-in. Here is Isley. Benoit struggling from the perimeter. Wolf with the rebound. Joe Wolf. Long rebound. Bowie. Scott. Not this time. Malone with the rebound. He has 4. 8-point Orlando lead.
They've got to get some quality shots for Antoine Carr and Karl Malone.
Antoine Carr gets a quality attempt there, and he's fouled by Joe Wolf.
Well, Antoine Carr, throughout his career, he's been in this league a long time. He's always been able to score double figures. He has 10 points a game, usually averages 4 rebounds. He shoots 51%. But this year, he is in a tremendous slump over the last 5 games. He has only scored 6 points, and he's shooting 25% during this period of time. He is a quality producer for them and was very instrumental last year in their bench production with he and Keefe and Chambers in getting this team to 60 wins. They need the production from him.
Jerry Sloan says he thinks the right knee may bother him a little bit. That could have something to do with it, and that maybe he's gained a couple of pounds.
Yeah, he has the brace on it. There's no doubt about that. It's definitely bothering him, and he's lacking the lift that he had a year ago.
Adam Keefe into the game for Utah. Dennis Scott posted again against Brian Russell, or against David Benoit.
Oh.
Powers it inside. Benoit having no more success guarding Dennis Scott down on the post. Remember, Dennis Scott's 6'8", has 13 now. He's a big player. Foul away from the ball. Orlando leading at 34-26. Here's the strength of Dennis Scott.
Yeah, well, see, they're posting him up a lot. Now, that's his 3rd time down inside. Now, that was a Hail Mary shot. You know, fortunately, he put it in the box, and he gets the roll back into the basket.
Isley being defended on the perimeter by Shaw, looking inside. The Carr against Koncak, up and under. Koncak got a piece of that. Good defense by John Koncak.
Well, they were teammates back in the old days in Atlanta, and, you know, they've played one another one-on-one. If you notice, Koncak never left his feet until he went for the shot.
Look at that. 4 Utah Jazz jerseys surround Dennis Scott, and he draws the foul with 13 points already and will go to the free throw line. That was Hornacek who got the personal, his first.
They're kind of surprised. They're saying that they fouled him before the shot. Now, anytime you're Dennis Scott, anytime you get fouled dribbling, you want to be on the foul line, right?
Dennis came over here and appealed to you, Hubie, for that call. You can't help him, can you?
Now, you know what? That was too bad. But, you know, they have posted him up 3 times, and he has been either getting fouled or getting a shot off.
Koncak kept that ball alive again.
They're killing him on the boards right now. And if I'm Jerry Sloan, I am not happy at all on the defensive rebound.
Here's Scott with the pull-up jumper from 17. Oh, Dennis Scott's on fire. 15 points for Dennis.
Give him his due. He scored over 20 now in 15 of their 22 games. I mean, he has the feel inside, outside, and especially at three-point time.
For 5 of 9 here tonight. 10 on the shot clock for Utah. Utah having trouble finding offense, and they're the league's leader in offense. The turnover from Hornacek, and here is a 3-on-3 break led by Scott. Brian Shaw getting inside of Isley. Almost stole it. Open man, Bowie from the corner. Anthony Bowie had 15 points in 17 minutes last Thursday night, and Jerry Sloan gets a timeout as Orlando builds their biggest lead with 8:26 to go in the half.
Watch In the Heat of the Night, weeknights and Saturdays at 7 on TNT.
The most affordable Lexus now comes with a moonroof, 6-disc CD auto changer, leather-trimmed seats, and chrome wheels worthy of a Lexus. And with a savings of up to $2,000, you'll laugh all the way to the bank. The ES 300 Luxury Value Package, available while they last at your Lexus dealer.
Here they come. Oh, it's time to pay up. Look at this. And they're bringing all the excitement of the WWF with them. It's huge. The good, the bad, and it could get ugly. The squared circle comes alive. The WWF on USA.
Brought to you in part by Odyssey Martial Arts Supply, where you'll find everything you need in martial arts equipment at 4315 Blue Ridge Boulevard.
We deliver more than cars. Just ask Dave and Kim. They came to Cable Dahmer Chevrolet Geo Mazda looking for V8 power, a great ride, and anti-lock brakes. With Cable Dahmer Chevrolet's 8.5 acres of cars, trucks, and vans, plus special good neighbor financing, it didn't take long to find just what they were looking for. So, Dave and Kim, well, they both found just the right Chevy. Come see us at Cable Dahmer Chevrolet Geo Mazda on the Miracle Mile, Nolan Road, Independence.
We'd like to show you an interesting rotation by Orlando. Here is Wolf. He's going to rotate over on the screen and roll. Antoine Carr sets the screen. Here comes Hornacek, and watch how they trap. Keep an eye on the Orlando. They come over the top. They trap Hornacek. Now watch Wolf. See Wolf rotate down inside? That was beautiful rotation. Everyone picking up. Now to keep an eye to the top of your screen. Now here is Bowie. Now he is an exciting player off the bench. He's shooting 50% from the floor. He's very capable of putting up numbers on you quickly.
Hardaway off the floor. Nick Anderson is back onto the floor. And Hornacek drops one down from long distance. He needs that, as Jeff in his last 3 games had 25 points and then 12 and then only 5 in the last game.
The rebounding in this game right now, Orlando 16-7, 5 offensive rebounds.
7:56 to go in the half. 10-point Orlando lead. Brian Shaw gets the pick from Joe Wolf and the pop. Adam Keefe covering Wolf. Nice jump hook by Joe Wolf. I talked to him on the elevator today. Joe is still at a hotel here in Orlando. He's not doesn't have a residence yet, but he says he really feels comfortable and hopes he's found a home. He knows that he has to compete for the job, however, with Jeff Turner. Morris, long range, drains the 3, and Morris has 10.
Well, we told you now. You'll notice in the half-court sets how Morris and Russell continue to end up with the ball with the shot clock going down.
Nick Anderson fouled as he tries to turn the corner. It's
Foul
Adam
number
Keefe.
31, Adam Keefe.
His first.
His first, third team foul.
Well, two acquisitions by Orlando. John Gabriel, their general manager, has done a terrific job, and that is picking up Koncak and Wolf. These are two very big players who give them presence up front.
Stockton went for the steal and paid the price. 11-point Magic lead. 7 minutes to go in the half.
Well, they're going by their game plan. They said they're going to make Stockton try to play defense on every play.
Antoine Carr, we're talking about him struggling offensively, had the shot inside. It wouldn't go down, and the Magic now with their biggest lead. Keefe with a rebound. Bad pass to Bowie. Nick Anderson. Bowie with the offensive board.
I'd say he's a terrific player.
Listen to the crowd.
Now, he was a late signer this year. He was not in their training camp, even though he played here last year.
Brian Shaw wanted the foul from Stockton. Didn't get it. Utah back.
Oh, nice steal. That was a beautiful deflection by Shaw.
It's going to be Utah ball as the official says it's off Anthony Bowie.
Think about over the last 5 years of Utah basketball. This is the most out of sync that I've ever seen them at the offensive end of the floor, and you and I have done a number of their games.
Absolutely. If anything, they're methodical and consistent. Hornacek, defended by Bowie. He's got his own shot. Can't. 5 on the shot clock. Antoine Carr over Contact. Contact with the rebound, and Antoine Carr is now 0 for 3 in limited minutes. Magic by 10.
You have to be impressed in this first half with the ball movement of Orlando.
Joe Wolf from Bowie. Nice pick and roll.
They have beautiful spacing. They're taking their time. They're spreading the defense out, and Utah is having a great amount of problems in trying to rotate. Orlando with 11 assists already in this game.
Karl Malone will be back on the floor momentarily for Utah, and Lord knows they need him. The only man who's been scoring with consistency in this first half is Chris Morris, who knocked that one down and has 13. Posting Anderson against Morris. Bowie drives past Hornacek. Dipsy-do won't go. Rebound.
Well, get it
Chris
out
Morris.
here. Get it out. You have 4 on 2.
Adam Keefe with a nice play and a good pass from Chris Morris. Morris is such a talented basketball player. Anthony Bowie. No look to Wolf. Keefe had a foul.
The staff, the Orlando staff, they love Wolf. Does he do anything great? No. But what he is a basketball player. He understands the game. He knows when to go without the ball. Now, that was a perfect give-and-go situation where he made the pass, he cut, and he left his man, Keefe, eyeing the basketball. As soon as he turned his head, backdoor, beautiful pass. But once again, you can do that all night long if you play with unselfish guys. You'll get the pass. You play with selfish people, they go one-on-one and take the shot.
Shaquille O'Neal back on the floor for his second appearance in this game after missing 22 with the broken base of the right thumb. I've talked about the shoes. Everybody in here is a bit nauseous tonight, and the reason is it's not because they're overexcited. It's the swirling optical illusion pattern on those shoes. Good grief.
Now, in this ball game, until this time, Karl Malone is 2 for 5. John Stockton 0 for 4. They are 2 for 9.
Carr gets the jump hook to go as Stockton took it down, and Shaquille stepped off on him, giving Antoine Carr the look at the basket. 45-38, Jazz making a mini comeback here with 4:12 to go in the half. Give and go, Penny and Shaq. Shaquille has 8 points, and he's only played about 4 minutes.
That was a tough catch. And not only a tough catch, Antoine Carr put his elbow right into his chest.
Illegal defense on Orlando with 3:51 to go in the half, and we'll be shooting it. It's a technical.
Well, you cannot be sloppy tonight. And you can see, first it was Jerry Sloan, now it's Brian Hill. Because Utah picked up 2 early violations, and now this is the 3rd violation by Orlando. If you're anywhere near that line and your only toe might be over, they're calling it.
Utah's last game was Monday night, so this is the first time Utah has seen the regular officials. But Orlando having just as big a problem with the 3. Dan Crawford, Mike Callahan, Sean Corbin are the officials tonight.
Well, you can see Brian Hill, you know, pleading his case with Crawford, who's the lead official here this evening.
Stockton inside to Carr, and Horace Grant was right in his face. Here's Malone from the baseline. Rebound, Chris Morris. Doing it all here, took a bad shot, but we've seen that before. Shaquille with the rebound, and the foul is going to be called on Chris Morris, and that's his 3rd.
Well, the big fella just asserted himself, and there was no doubt about that he was not going to allow the double team to take the ball away from him. Now, just keep an eye on this. He sheds the people here now. Now watch as Clark and Morris come in here. See, Morris came right down across his forearm.
You know, it is the NBA, as somebody said, no babies allowed. And you know that people will be hacking at Shaq with that right hand. No question about it. Shaquille is 3 out of 3 from the line. As Brian Hill told us today, maybe the brace on his hand is the answer to his free throw shooting woes.
Well, last year he led the league, 10.8 foul shot attempts per game. And, you know, he also led the league in dunks. He averaged 4.2 dunks a game. Now, I know that doesn't mean anything, but it means a lot to their offense, because you have to come in and double team, and he'll just take you so strong to the basket. And when he drops that shoulder, he's thundering. He's going all the way.
Orlando by 10. Shaq has 10 points in 8 minutes. He's back. Karl Malone powers it inside past Horace Grant. It's an 8-point Orlando lead. And Karl Malone's only 3 for 7 tonight.
Well, he and Stockton are just not in sync here in this first half. They got to get him more shot attempts. And you look at it, and they're only down 8.
Now Greg Foster is in trying to battle Shaq. Shaq has 12. Said he wanted to come off the bench so he could be eligible for the 6-man award. I don't think he'll be coming off the bench more than, say, this one game, but that was his comment, nevertheless. Greg Foster, you see the difference in the size and the weight and the bodies on those two. Foster is a perimeter player, yeah. Misses at this time. Grant rebounds to Penny Hardaway. 5 rebounds for Horace Grant here in the first half. Shaquille. Foster. Rebound, Adam Keefe. Adam Keefe had 17 rebounds a few weeks ago.
Well, he's just been outstanding ever since he was traded from Atlanta for Ty Corbin. He has just had 2 excellent seasons.
10 to shoot for Utah. Trailing by 10 with 2:10 to go in the half. Double team coming. Foster's the open man. 2 on the shot clock. He should have taken that. Stockton had to throw up Brer, and the shot clock expired.
Hey, Stockton thought he was fouled again. See, he just said to him, I was fouled. That's why I stepped out. In the early going tonight, they're not getting the calls that they think they should be getting.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by Lexus Luxury Automobiles and by Domino's Ultimate Deep Dish Pizza.
Life rarely imitates orange cones. Orange cones, however, can be made to imitate life. At Lexus, we've created a suspension system so advanced, it's smooth when you want it to be, unresponsive when you need it to be. The 1996 LS400. Impossible, the laws of Lexus state otherwise.
On this day of Christmas, my true love said to me.
Domino's Ultimate Deep Dish gets quite a reaction.
Rings for calling birds, refriend, and to tell doves.
A zesty, thick crust, cheese melted to the edge. It's Ultimate Deep Dish only from Domino's. Call now for a large with 1 topping, just $9.99.
They're growing up so quickly.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
When he goes up to dunk, don't even jump. When he grabs a rebound, don't even try to take it away from him.
He's got the speed and the quickness of a guard, and the body of a big guy. He's just awesome.
I know his moves, and I know what he likes to do, you know, and I try to defend it, and I still can't stop it.
He has a complete package. This is a guy who's definitely not one-dimensional. He embodies everything that is great about this game.
Orlando's biggest lead has been 13. They lead by 10 now with 2 minutes to go in the half. Coming up on the Reebok halftime report after those 2 minutes, Dikembe Mutombo will join Ernie Johnson and Reggie Theus in our Atlanta studios.
The John Stockton affair is very big here this evening. He's your second leading scorer at 16 points. He's shooting 59% from the floor, 51 in threes, 85 on the line, and at this point in this game, he has no points.
You can't get to the line because he doesn't seem to be able to get the calls he looks for. And he's getting posted by Penny Hardaway, as we see. They go back to him again. 7 on the shot clock. Shaquille follows and misses, but there's going to be a foul against Greg Foster.
Now, the Shaq man just came out of nowhere and got a hand on that ball and kept it alive. Now just keep an eye to the right of your screen. The Shaq is going to come into your picture right here. See, he tries to grab it with the one hand, but the ball was on the rim, and you notice he could not get control.
12 points. Hasn't missed from the free throw line tonight. 4 out of 4.
You know, it's interesting. Last year, he was first in the league in scoring at 29.3 points. The year before, in '94, he was second in scoring, and he was 29.3 also. He lost out to David Robinson.
And this year will almost undoubtedly lose out to Michael Jordan if Jordan keeps on his pace at 30.3 a game. Malone inside, blocked by Penny Hardaway, but they're going to call a 3-second violation first.
See, that's their second 3-second call of the evening. Now you can see Jerry Sloan. Yeah, he's just shaking their head. They just feel that the offense is out of sync. My 2 best guys can't get any shot attempts. We're turning the ball over with 3-second calls. We're getting zone calls at the other end. Stockton can't get a call. He says, what's going on here?
And we're just at the beginning of a 6-game Eastern trip.
Right, and we're not playing all that well coming in here.
Down 10, Shaquille powering it inside.
Oh, yes. Now that is the up and under move to the maximum.
14 points for O'Neal in 11 minutes. He is back. Under a minute to go in the half. Stockton scoreless in this first half. Malone struggling. Hard to the hoop for Carl. It'll fall. And despite the way they've played, it's still a 10-point game.
Yeah, and you know what's great here? Where I have not possibly given enough credit to the Orlando defense. They have done a terrific job in rotating and picking people up here.
10 on the shot clock, 32 seconds in the half. Now 6 on the clock. Shaquille against Foster again. Turnaround jumper. Foster called for the push-off.
Now keep an eye on the big fella. He's going to run an up and under. Watch how he swings out. Now keep an eye on the ball. He swings up to get the guy to move. Then he's now that is to the maximum. Guys will usually lay it up with their left hand, or some people will send up a soft shot with their right hand. That was a thunder two-hand dunk.
Shaquille was 0 for 2 last time at the line. Now he drives. This one is 5 of 7 from the line. And this free throw situation obviously is a big deal. If he starts hitting free throws, really look out. Other scores tonight: Detroit and New Jersey in a close one. Indiana killing Milwaukee in the third period. And Cleveland out in front of Minnesota in the second quarter. And Shaquille O'Neal gets them both and has 16. Utah down 12 with 22 seconds in the half.
When Utah goes in at halftime, they've got to figure out how to get Stockton, Hornacek, and Malone involved with high percentage shots in the second half.
Like that. From Stockton, who has 8 assists and no points. 10-point lead, 3 seconds. Stripped away by Stockton. Nick Anderson throws up the prayer at the buzzer. So the Magic lead by 10 at the half. Orlando is led all the way. Shaquille, in about 10 minutes of playing time, 12 minutes of playing time, 16 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 of 6 from the free throw line. The return of Shaq Fu. After this, we'll join Ernie Johnson on the Reebok Halftime Report in Atlanta. Talked to us at halftime and said that he really has been watching John Stockton on and off the court and beforehand and really believes his ankle he sprained a week ago is bothering him. Malone gets the rebound and puts it back up and in, and it's an 8-point lead for Orlando as we are underway here at the second half at the O-Rena on the night of the return of Shaq Fu. By the way, I keep saying Shaq Fu da Return because that's the name of his rap album. That sort of thing. John Stockton looking for his first points of the game. Malone, power move and draws the foul.
I like this type of attack if I'm Utah, mainly because they're getting the ball to Malone. They're catching him in transition where he's always dynamite. You know he's going to take it strong to the rim. So the only way you're going to stop him is if you're going to foul him.
And Horace Grant did just that. It's his first personal of the game.
You know, last year we said Shaq led the league in foul shot attempts at 10-8. Penny Hardaway and Alonzo Mourning are leading this year at 11. But this young guy on the foul line, or old guy, however you want to say it,
middle-aged,
he led the league 5 straight years at between 10 and 11 per game. And this is, we just showed the graphic for you right now on, you know, the present status of the main guys. But for 5 straight years, Karl Malone led it. That's taken a lot of shots.
They get it inside to Hardaway, and the ball was knocked out of bounds off Utah. And John Stockton is very beside himself with the officials tonight. He's not getting the foul calls he wants on himself. He's had several calls go opposite his feelings. And he must be frustrated with no points at all in the game so far. Anderson backing in on Brian Russell. Cutting to the hoop is contact. I'm sure Anderson would like John to have gone all the way for that. Utah comes away with the ball, and Utah can pull to within 4 points on this possession. Stockton misses.
Oh, nice move by Scott. Nick Anderson with the basketball right now is only 1 for 3 in this ball game.
And loses it on the penetration. Stockton is grabbed by Koncak.
That was an excellent foul. Morris and Malone were out on a 2-on-1. Now just keep an eye right here as they go in. There's your strip. Now watch. As Stockton steps out, smart foul by Koncak. Make him take it out on the side because they had a 2-on-1 up the floor.
We're going to get John Stockton some longer pants. He's still wearing 1970s shorts. And Malone drops it in. 17 for Karl tonight now. He's heating up a bit. Goes with 9 rebounds. And it's a 4-point game, despite how Utah has played.
Well, that's a beautiful baseline screen to bring Malone. That's their patented offense.
10 on the shot clock. Hosting Hardaway. Open man, Horace Grant. Spencer kept it alive, but it'll be run down by Dennis Scott. Handed to Anderson for the 3 attempt. Rebound. Another offensive board for Orlando. Anderson thought about the 3.
Well, Nick is 1 for 5 from the floor right now. See, they're going right back in there. Make Stockton play.
Hardaway bumps him off and loads it in easily with a little jump hook.
John's not going to get that call. That mainly because it's Hardaway who's playing at the top of his game right now. They're not going to give you that in the chest.
Stockton's first hoop of the night doesn't go down. I thought he was about to have his first. He's 0 for 6. Magic by 6. Dennis Scott for 3. Scott has 18 points.
They're very tough to cover. Dennis Scott is now 3 for 5 in threes. In transition, you've got to get to the wings with Anderson and Scott. They just kill you in this building with the 3-point attempts.
Stockton for the penetration to Chris Morris. Not this time. Spencer with the rebound and draws the foul.
Well, this is where Spencer must help you, and that's on the offensive boards, because it will allow Karl Malone to roam inside, and if you just keep the ball alive, you got a chance.
Koncak using up his fouls. He has 4 in limited minutes tonight. Go with his 2 points. And Felton Spencer steps to the line, missed 10 months with surgery on his ruptured Achilles tendon, and then just a week or so ago injured his shoulder and missed part of one game, but is coming back playing. But the shoulder is still bothering. You see him rotating it on his right side there.
Well, he's only averaging 13 minutes. He's giving them 5 points and 3 rebounds. But this is a guy that they've got to get 30 minutes out of. And then when Ostertag at 7 foot comes back from his broken hand, they will have a presence at that center position with Spencer and Ostertag.
60-52, Orlando by 8. Illegal defense called against Utah.
And Scott will shoot the technical.
Well, it's senseless for the coaches to get upset tonight, because if you do not go quickly, they are calling the illegal defense.
Dennis Scott now with 19 as he knocks down the technical, and it's a 9-point Orlando lead. 8:50 to go, third quarter. Along with Craig Sager, Hubie Brown, this is Bob Neal with you from the arena. Each team with 3 illegal defense violation calls tonight against them. Hosting Hardaway. Haven't found an answer to this yet, has Utah. This is Nick Anderson missing. Malone rebounding. Inside to Malone from Stockton. Somebody got a piece of that. Malone stays with it. Oh, man, it's for men only down there. Concat gets the defensive board. Technical foul. Oh.
Now, Jerry Sloan just came out on the floor. He has a right to be upset, because Karl Malone was hit a number of times there. No call, and you can see that he was so upset.
They got one technical.
Phil Johnson, now just keep an eye here now. As he goes up, he gets hammered right on top of the head. And then you're going to see to the right, Jerry Sloan came out on the floor, and they hit them with the technical foul. Phil Johnson, the assistant, that was smart, got right in front of Jerry as a buffer.
Jerry Sloan, one of the toughest defensive basketball players ever to play. I wouldn't want to mess with him even at his advanced age today.
Well,
he's got a temper and he's a tough guy. 62-52 Orlando. The free throw is good, giving Orlando the 10-point margin. Nick Anderson gets the pass inside, and Brian Russell can't do anything with him. And now it's back to a 12-point lead, as Utah had come to within 4 points. Malone misses the pass out to Stockton, 12 on the shot clock, and Shaquille O'Neal hasn't even made an appearance here in the third quarter. Shaquille in 12 minutes in the first half had 16 points. He'll be back soon, though. You can bet on that. I wouldn't say bet on that. Stockton. Looking for something. Carr. Rebound, Brian Russell. No time on the shot clock. That's a violation of the 24-second clock.
Orlando's double teaming of the post-up people have just been excellent. Anytime that Karl Malone posts up, they're running John Concat down on the double team. Karl Malone is having difficulty passing the ball to the opposite side of the floor because he cannot get over the top of Concat.
Anderson backing in. Brian Russell. Tipped away by Stockton. 7 on the shot clock. Hardaway's very aware of that. Gets the pick from Grant. Back to Concat for 3. John Concat nails the triple. Everything going right for Orlando. Building a 15-point lead with 7:14 to go in the quarter. The Magic have scored 7 straight points, and Shaquille has not even made an appearance here in the third quarter.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by GMC Sierra. Strength, style, and a little something on the side.
The GMC Sierra. This year, it has even more power, and it's always been known for strength. And of course, style. But we still felt the need for a little something on the side. The convenient new third door. Another first on Sierra from GMC.
Hey, come on down here. This right here, this is the line. It's the three-point line. You do this, it's worth nothing. Now you do this, now this could be worth $1 million. This is what separates the winners from the losers. Are you ready to step up to the line? You're not stepping anywhere until you go to Foot Locker, because when you vote for your favorite NBA All-Star, you're automatically in a Foot Locker $1 million shot sweepstakes. This shot's worth $1 million, if you can make it.
Here you go.
Thanks.
I travel a lot, but you don't have to play in the NBA to visit new places and meet new people. All you have to do is pick up a book, because when you know how to read, adventures come to you.
Today's story is Little Shaq Horner.
So no matter who you are or what you plan to do, learn how to read. It opens up a whole new world.
Shaq's gonna be some.
It's a good thing he doesn't play basketball.
Craig, with the reappearance of the regular officials, technicals have been flowing free and easy tonight.
Well, Utah feels that the regulars are definitely rusty. At halftime, they talked about them standing around applauding Shaquille O'Neal instead of refereeing the game. They have 3 technicals, Karl Malone, Jerry Sloan, but the big one, John Stockton, only his first all year, only the 5th of his career. Normally, we can't say what they said, not even on cable, but his comment was, this is worse than high school, and he got a T.
Now, I wouldn't have thought that would have drawn a C. You may have edited that a bit, however. 67-52. Magic by 15. 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. This is the biggest lead of the game for Orlando. Hornacek is fouled on the shot. Is that a 3? Hardaway picks up his first personal. I'm not sure if he was beyond the arc or not.
Now, just keep an eye on what's happening here. They've already double-teamed a screen and roll, and they kick the ball out to Hornacek, and Hornacek is going to, get the ball down inside. But what is happening is they're getting terrific rotation. They're challenging every shot, and you got to give Orlando their due. They're excellent tonight. Every guy is being unselfish with the defensive effort.
Hornacek shooting .898 from the free throw line, is 6th in the NBA from the free throw line. So despite the fact he's been in a shooting slump, he'll probably knock these down, and does. And it is now a 13-point Orlando lead with 7 to go in the third quarter.
Well, Hornacek is 6th in the league in foul shooting, right at 90%.
Dennis Scott gets the pass from Anderson. Interior defense, and Utah comes away with it.
Well, with Antoine Carr and Malone in the game, you've got 2 good post-up people.
Hornacek for 3. That's a big bucket for the Utah Jazz. They pulled to within 10 again. Once again in this period, Utah pulled to within 4 before Orlando went on the run. Expected to see Shaquille O'Neal in this period. By now, that block from Malone with 14 on the shot clock.
Utah is not a great three-point shooting team in regards to attempts. They only attempt 13 a game, but they have 5 guys shooting over 40%, with Stockton shooting 51%. So it is in the arsenal if they need it.
Penny Hardaway with 10 on the shot clock, trying to back in on Stockton. Somebody ought to be open. 5 on the shot clock. Pick from Grant for Anderson. And the foul bailed him out there, and it's going to be on Karl Malone.
Well, that's a bad foul. I mean, they had the clock down at 3.
First team foul.
No good area in order to penetrate. They cut that off. It would have been a very difficult shot. They end up fouling.
6:06 to go in the period. Stockton called for the foul.
Now, you knew they were going to call that. He had his left arm wrapped around Hardaway as he attempted to get the steal.
That's John's 3rd. And he has 1 technical on him already. As we say, that's a very rare occurrence against Stockton anyway, but 1 more and he would be ejected.
Well, Stockton is their designated double-team guy, so by continuing to post him up, they're hurting the defense of the Jazz.
And Hardaway is just getting rich down on that shot. Penny has 13, averaging 26.4 in the absence of Shaquille. I keep mentioning O'Neal has not been in here in the third quarter, and Orlando's playing pretty darn well without him. Antoine Carr has it blocked by Koncak, but the foul.
That was a great block by Contact, but he caught him with his lower body, and that was the call. Now keep an eye on this. See, Antoine, this is the second one that Contact blocks on him. See, but he catches him with the lower part of the body.
And that'll bring Shaquille O'Neal back into the game, as Contact now has 5 personal fouls after Antoine Carr shoots the free throws. 5:41 to go in the period. And here comes Shaquille O'Neal. In 12 minutes of the first half, Shaquille had 16 points. John Concack will sit down with 5 points and 5 personal fouls and 6 rebounds. Carr gets them both. 10-point Orlando lead. Anderson defended by Chris Morris. Here's the double team from Stockton. Hardaway from 12 feet, 15 for Penny.
See, Hardaway has the complete game, the three-point game, the medium game, and then off the drive or the post-up. He shoots over 50%, and you let him get open in any of those areas, it's in.
Malone, nice pass to Antoine Carr. Struggling with his field goal percentage, won't miss the two-handed jam. It's a 10-point game.
Well, they caught the Shaq man looking at Karl Malone in the post-up. Good move by Antoine.
Antoine and Shaquille wrestling.
Oh, offensive foul.
Traveling is the call, but you're right. It was an offensive foul. He hooked around it.
I sure did. I mean, as he hooks him, he really popped him. Now, keep an eye on this. Now, watch what happens here with the Shaq. As he goes, boom. See, he catches him, knocks him back. No doubt about that call.
Antoine and Shaquille having a few words with each other. Temper's not exactly pleasant at the moment. 10-point Orlando lead. Stockton to Hornacek, looking for Malone. 10 on the shot clock. Singled up against Horace Grant. Malone, beautiful drive into the paint.
That's the second time that he has done that in this game. And if Orlando does not double team, see, they double team for a while, then they take it off. They're allowing Grant to play him one-on-one now. He has a beautiful baby hook.
Orlando by 8 points. Post up to Hardaway to Grant. Shaquille with a follow. Wow. Oh, baby. Shaquille has 18. Seems like I've seen that somewhere before. Maybe last spring in the playoffs. Stockton cannot get a basket to go down. He is 0 for 7 tonight. Crowd still buzzing on the Shaquille monster following jam. You could hear the skin slap, no whistle coming. Anderson backing Hornacek in. Now the foul in the paint.
Now look to the left of your screen here now. Now this is a little piece of a shot block and the big fella coming from the mezzanine. He's had 3 Thunder dunks tonight.
Magic over the limit in team fouls. 3 have been called against Orlando with 3:38 to go in the third. Inside O'Neal. It was stripped away by Chris Morris. Utah with one of their rare fast break opportunities. This is how sound Utah is, though. They're not playing a good ball game by any stretch of the imagination, and yet they're within 8 points.
They're only down 8. And you always have to be nervous because they have 3 guys who can get it done for them in the last 2 minutes. So when you get a chance to knock them out, you've got to knock them out.
Antoine Carr trying to knock Shaquille out. He goes to the hook shot, and Shaquille has 20.
I mean, you have to be impressed with his touch tonight. He has made some great back-to-the-basket moves. Up and under, baby hooks, power, drop step. He's done it all here tonight.
Chris Morris has done almost all. He's played pretty well until he missed that finger roll attempt. Shaq 7 of 11. Hornacek with the foul on Nick Anderson. Wave off the basket. Orlando leading it by 10 with 2:41 to go in the period. Timeout on the floor.
Suns, Rockets, Tuesday at 8 on TNT.
The GMC Sierra. This year, it has even more power And it's always been known for strength. And of course, style. But we still felt the need for a little something on the side. The convenient new third door. Another first on Sierra from GMC.
A lonely road, a traveler, a friend, a trust to share beyond the journey's end. AAA insurance for all you love and own. Bring the security of AAA home.
For auto, home, life, and health.
Bring the security of AAA home.
A special announcement from Ford.
This market area has been selected to temporarily receive Ford's lowest financing of the year. 4.9% APR or $600 cash back on a huge selection of 96 Ford cars, including Mustang, Contour, Windstar, even the all-new 96 Taurus. Or get 3.9 financing or $750 cash back on every 95 Escort.
This unprecedented 4.9 offer on nearly every Ford car, including the 96 Taurus, is for a limited time. So see your local Ford dealer now.
Orlando by 10 here in Orlando with 2:41 to go in the third quarter. Time for a look at our GMC scoreboard tonight. Boston playing a lot better than a lot of people thought they would. They're going to be above 500 if they hold on. Detroit looking for a win with a 10-point lead over New Jersey. Indiana laying it to Milwaukee. Cleveland leading Minnesota in the third period. Sacramento off to a good start, but they've lost some big games, and they're in another big game tonight and trailing by 7 to Houston. Don't forget, tune in to CNN Sports tonight for all of the highlights and scores from the NBA, plus the rest of the world of sports. Tonight, Vince Cellini and Barry LeBrock will be with you on CNN. Brian Shaw into the game. As Hardaway stays on the floor. Foul on Antoine Carr.
No doubt about that one. You're allowed to lay that arm across his back, but anytime that you push off, right now they're having words again, Carr and, O'Neal. They've been talking back and forth to one another. I know Carr is upset. He thought that Shaq, when he hooked him that time, hooked him, with a little bit extra force.
Shaq said, by the way, on his return, he was injured October 24th when he was hacked by Matt Geiger of the Miami Heat just before the regular season started. He says, I'll just have to give back the hacks as much as I receive them. That's going to be my plan on this. Otherwise, I know that people will be trying to foul me as they always have. He said he blames Pat Riley for getting injured because Riley has those guys in Miami believing they can play defense. Oh! Those are Shaquille's words, not mine. Hornacek from the perimeter. That's another triple for Jeff, his second one tonight, and he has 13 points. He may be breaking out of that mini slump he's been in.
Well, it's nice to see him get a clean look. Anytime he gets a clean look, he's going to shoot the high percentage.
Penny Hardaway with the penetration and the foul before the shot. Minute 58 to go in the quarter.
Now, Penny Hardaway is just having a nice, quiet, efficient game this evening. He's posting up, taking the double teams, finding people with the passes. He has his 15 points, going to the line now. 15 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. I would say not bad. We still have not finished 3 quarters.
You see what he's done. The great thing here is his turnover drop. Now, you may think that tenths of a point on turnovers is not a big difference, but it really is. And Penny Hardaway and the Orlando Magic have really been taking care of the basketball.
Well, especially when you look and consider how much he handles the ball here.
13.9 turnovers a game, which leads the NBA. And Chris Morris is fouled on the drive. Nick Anderson will be called for the personal. Minute 44 to go in the period.
If you notice tonight, all of the players are upset, but the referees have been consistent. You lay that hand on a guy's hip, coming off a screen and roll, they have called a foul all night long.
So Chris Morris steps to the free throw line. He's 73% free throw shooter, has 15 points tonight. 3 out of 4 from the line.
People, question this move, signing Morris as a free agent. When he was in New Jersey, 7-year career, he averaged 13 points. He's averaging 13.9 now. He averaged 5 rebounds. He's averaging 5 rebounds now. But he's doing it in only 26 minutes. He's doing it in almost 6 less minutes a game, and he's getting the same production. The big thing is if you just cut down on the poor percentage shots.
Howard Isley giving John Stockton a rest with 1:35 to go in the quarter. Brian Shaw open from long range. Horace Grant tipped that out to Hardaway. Anderson left alone for the 3. Long rebound tipped out by Horace Grant again.
Well, when you play the teams that launch as many threes as Orlando, 19 a game, you've got to look for the long rebound.
They go to Shaquille. He makes the hook pass for the easy lay-in by Brian Shaw. 8-point Orlando lead. They led by 10 at the half. 1 minute to go in the 3rd period. Pick and roll with Isley and Carr. Oh, what a pass from Malone. And Horace Grant got down there to cause Antoine Carr to miss the shot.
Antoine could have dunked that with 2 hands.
Nick Anderson doesn't miss the 3 this time. An 11-point Orlando lead. Every time Utah claws their way back in here, the Magic throws a 5, 6, 7, or 8-point run at them.
Well, Anderson launches 6 a game, shooting 35%. They're not going to stop when they miss. They're coming right at you. Here's great hustle.
Isley and Hornacek both thought the other one was going to go for the ball. The lack of hustle cost them the basket. 28 seconds to go in the quarter.
They need a score here right now. If they don't get a score, they've got to get to the foul line.
7 straight points from Orlando. 17 seconds to go in the period. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Karl Malone, he's the man who has to take clutch shot after clutch shot. Hornacek's offensive rebound, and it's jammed in on the follow by either Carr or Malone at the buzzer. Wow, despite that flurry of 7 straight points from Orlando, Utah comes back to get the hoop. They trail going into the final 12, 83-72, and Shaquille O'Neal has 20 points.
The GMC Sierra. This year, it has even more power, and it's always been known for strength. And of course, style. But we still felt the need for a little something on the side. The convenient new 3rd door. Another first on Sierra from GMC.
Here we are at the World's Do-It-Yourself Finals. Larry Snyder's up in the routing compulsories. This man's making a name for himself today. Very smooth. But can Larry and his trusty Ryobi tools handle the 4x4? He takes it deep. Out of here. This kid's coming in unranked. But he's got all the tools, the power, the touch. Oh, he's in the zone now!
When developing the Seiko Kinetic watch, we applied for 50 patents. How could we fit them all inside? We took out the battery. Seiko Kinetic, the amazing quartz watch that never needs a battery.
Historic district called Church Street Station near downtown Orlando. I was over there today with a ride on the Orange Blossom Special Choo-Choo train. And they gave me candy bars, and it was a pretty nice thing. This is not the space shuttle. This is the foundation, the platform for the backboard. You wonder what kind of impact Shaquille O'Neal has when he returns. Well, one thing is he keeps moving the backboards out of position. Craig Sager, what do you have on this? You're down there right in the thick of this.
Well, you know, Bob, we talked before about how imposing Shaq was, the biggest, strongest player in the league before. Remember that backboard he broke in Phoenix a couple of years ago? Well, he lifted weights for the first time during the offseason. He's even more imposing now. And what they have to do is fix the backboard. I talked to a couple of the players here and also the guys working on it. They said it was from one of Shaq's dunks. And apparently something is out of whack and out of line, but they're going to try to get it fixed, get it ready to go shortly. But Shaq lifting weights, bulking up to 332 pounds. He's even bigger and stronger than before.
I think if they made Shaq help him fix it, he'd take more care with it, don't you think? Speaking of 1993 and the broken backboard, this is the kind of impact Shaquille brought when he came into the league. Uh-oh. Remember that one? I do. Shaquille O'Neal, just Lucille's baby boy, 318 pounds, and he still, you know, we do forget, he still is a young man, 23 years old.
Orlando shooting 50% for the game, Utah 44. Utah 5 for 17 in threes, Orlando 6 for 15.
Final 12 minutes. 11-point lead by Orlando. Pick and roll with Shaw and Shaquille. Spencer back in the ball game. Shaquille misses the jump hook, and Spencer gets the rebound. John Stockton opens up this final quarter on the bench. Howard Isley in at the point, and Hornacek also handling the ball. The lob down inside. Nice play to block by Shaquille, but the foul.
Now that was a beautiful read by Hornacek. He saw on the screen and roll, he saw the man who set the screen step out and pick him up, and then he just looked for the lob. Spencer went right to the front of the rim. Now this was a good block, except the lower part of the body hit Spencer.
Yeah, they give the foul to Horace Grant, his second, and Spencer knocks down the free throws, shooting 67% coming in. Final, Washington beat the Lakers tonight. Weber had 37, his career high in his short NBA career, and Doug Collins' Pistons gets a victory. Indiana also with a win tonight. Those are our first three finals. We'll keep you posted on NBA action. I guess that was Detroit's, what, 9th win on the year.
Well, right now, Utah right back in this game, only down 9. What they need is some good defensive pressure and hold them to one shot.
Blocking foul called on Spencer.
Spencer is a big body. He goes about 255, 260. So anytime that he steps out, he takes out a lot of room in there. Main thing right now is he must keep the Shaq off the offensive board whenever Orlando misses.
Orlando by 9. That good defensive play by Antoine Carr.
Somebody's open here. Oh, there he is.
Dennis Scott. Misses. Rebound, Shaquille. And the foul down inside. It's going to be called on Howard Easley.
Yeah, they get that on a strip. That was the smartest thing to do, though.
Number 10, Howard Isley.
They're going to keep he had inside position right now. Now, Isley, what he's going to do, he's going to try to strip him and not let him get up to the rim.
Did strip him.
And I like the call. The call is that he fouled him on the ground. He was not shooting the basketball.
And simply the inbound play. 23 seconds on the shot clock now as Orlando inbounds from the sideline. With 11:02 to go in the game, the Magic leading it by 9 points.
The Magic have 13 offensive rebounds, and this is what has really been hurting the Utah half-court defense.
Trying to get Scott open on a curl. He played well by Morris. Down inside to Shaquille. Double team leaves Brian Shaw open. Passes to Bowie. 3 on the shot clock. Shaquille kept that alive, and then it was tipped in by Brian Shaw.
The Shaq man rotated behind the backboard that time on Spencer. Kept the ball alive.
John Stockton's ankle may be bothering him. Isley penetrates all the way. It's stripped away from it with 8 on the shot clock. Hornacek misses from the free throw line. Gets his own rebound. Back inside. Down too low was Antoine Carr. Shaquille handles on the break to Bowie to Scott. For 3!
That's his 4th of the game.
Magic by 14 points. Antoine Carr gets the technical foul. He was asking for it, and he got it. They've been coming hot and heavy here tonight. Jerry Sloan had one earlier. Now Carr, Stockton was called for a technical foul. We have a commercial timeout. We'll shoot the technical when we return to the arena. The Magic by 14.
In this day and age, the old camcorder with its tunnel vision is, shall we say, history. Now look at the world with a sharp view cam. The big bright color view screen frees you to see all the action, and the pivoting lens gets shots the old camcorders can't. There's even instant replay with color and sound. So it's out with the old cam, in with Sharp View Cam. Now get up to a $200 rebate when you buy a Sharp View Cam.
So this is what you do every day, huh? For a baby. Like this. Not like this. It's not so bad. Maybe...
For the man with sensitive skin, Schick introduces the new Tracer FX.
Where's the sensitive part? Right here? Good.
With its unique skin guard designed for a smooth shave with less irritation.
Think I'm getting the hang of it.
The shaving system for sensitive skin. Schick Tracer FX.
You guys are so sensitive. What's the big deal?
So a shot here will have to be miraculous, and it is! Inbound, gets it to Van Exel, he makes a wish.
Kid with 2 seconds. 35.
Yes! Yes! Good if it goes!
With 3 seconds. Carson. Got it at the buzzer! You gotta love it!
Ride with him off. Puts up a flare. Yes! How sweet it is!
Watch In the Heat of the Night. Weeknights and Saturdays at 7 on TNT.
In Orlando, the Dutch boy in the paint. The Dutch boy is Shaquille O'Neal tonight. 20 points and 7 boards in limited time in his first return after missing 22 games.
Well, you can see the difference in the game, the second chance points, the offensive rebounding. Orlando with 13, and you can see it's led to 18 points.
Dennis Scott, body English, gets it in, and that's a scowl. That is a major league NBA scowl from Antoine Carr.
Well, Antoine is frustrated. We told you he's only shooting 25% over the last 5 games. He's struggling. That was his second opportunity to put down a shot under the rim in this game, and he has come up empty. So, you know, there's a frustration factor, as well as, hey, they're not going to give you all the bumping down inside.
Stockton back inside, passes up that shot opportunity. Remember, Stockton is 0 for 7 tonight, has not been able to score. Shot clock at 6. Stockton gets the pick, gets it to Keith. Shot clock to 2. Keith too far underneath to get the shot away. Traveling the call on Brian Shaw, a heady play by John Stockton. The score is 89-74. The Magic leading by 15 with 9:38 to go.
Well, the defense displayed this evening by Orlando has just been sensational. They're continually putting people behind the backboard, and guys are making catches, but they cannot get a clean look at the rim.
Felton Spencer trying to power it inside. That's goaltending on Shaquille, but first the foul. Let's see if they give him the goaltending.
Oh, they should get the foul and the goal.
They do. Count the basket, and Felton Spencer has a 3-point opportunity.
Now just keep an eye on this. Now he gets the foul with the push-off, and then definitely the goaltending. We didn't have a good angle on that, but he definitely caught it.
Spencer misses.
On the way down.
Shaquille rebounds. 13-point Orlando lead with 9:27 to go. 8 rebounds for Shaq tonight. It's great having him back. We'll be back here for a TNT telecast at 8 Eastern time next Friday against Patrick Ewing and the Knicks. Shaquille off the glass. He has 22.
He's had it all tonight. Baby hooks, up and under, power drop step moves, thunder dunks. Done a decent job on the foul line.
Stockton gets past Bowie, dishes to Keith, left all alone. Shaquille's 9th rebound. Anthony Hardaway getting a long rest here in the 4th period with the comfortable lead of 15 points for Orlando. Shaquille, foul on the way in, was going to give us a thunder dunk with his left hand.
The game plan by the Orlando coaching staff has just been excellent. Once again, Stockton down on the post, gets the double team, and they're cutting either Koncak or the Shaq man from the top of the circle. If you cover them, Grant is wide open. If Grant isn't in the game, Scott is wide open for the three. Their game plan has been terrific. And I like what Brian Hill told us today. The big thing also with Shaq that they worked on was all of the double teaming that he had to get accustomed to in the last couple of days of practice, and working on his game in passing out his double team.
And Shaquille knocks down one of the 2 free throws there and leads 92-76. Shaq is 7 of 12 from the line, 23 points in only 20 minutes tonight. The 92-76 lead with 8:37 to go. You don't know if Utah has the comeback in them here tonight. It'll have to start right now. Malone is fouled on the way to the hoop. Stockton still has not scored in this game. We talked earlier about the fact a week ago he sprained his ankle. They thought his consecutive starting streak was going to be broken. Jerry Sloan said he did not believe Stockton would start in the game. And on the other hand, Jerry Sloan said, knowing him as I do, I wasn't surprised either.
Well, he came right back and had 2 straight games of 15-plus assists. 2 games back-to-back. They worked very hard, diligently on the ankle. They felt that he was okay this evening, but it's obvious because he has fallen down on the floor at least 3 times when he has had to make a quick cut.
You know, in his entire career, John Stockton has played 82 games every single year except for 1 season when he missed 4.
Well, you have to look at that. 466 straight starts. And when you look down the line, the bottom guy, Gary Payton, has only 213. And you look at that and you say, my gosh, that's incredible, because we're talking about an entire league here.
Stockton and Malone, it's like having 2 Cal Ripkins on your team when you talk about the punishment that people take in basketball. And the Scott missing, rebound Karl Malone. Stockton, Malone has 15 boards tonight. Stockton misses from the 3. Loose ball foul on Utah and Adam Keefe.
I just want to bring up the point on Stockton again. This year, John Stockton is shooting 59% from the floor, 51% from threes, 85% on the foul line. He's your second leading scorer at 16 points. He's first in the league in assists with 11 a game, and he cannot get off the schneid tonight.
He can't even get to the free throw line. And he can't get to the free throw line. He's 0 for 0 from the free throw line.
That's right.
He does, however, in terms of his statistical column, have a technical foul.
He's having a very difficult night. He just cannot catch a break, but he does have 11 assists.
His 11.3 leads the league. Nobody looking for Anthony Boyd. Easily to the hoop for the pass in the basket. And 7:54 to go. The Jazz looking as though they don't have to come back in them tonight. Plenty of time remaining, though.
This has been a very frustrating game for them.
Open man is Carr. Can he hit the 17-footer? This time, yes. Antoine Carr has battled, but he has 13 points tonight. They haven't come easily for him. There's Bowie open again. He's beating Hornacek. 2 times in a row, Jeff has not been with Anthony Bowie, and Jerry Sloan is beside himself. And he's going to get some help on the floor for defense, and that'll be Chris Morris.
That's Stockton's first field goal.
1 for 9, John Stockton tonight. Shaw gets it to Scott. Here comes Hornacek. Battling to get an open shot somewhere. Karl Malone will take it strong to the hoop. Go to the left hand. How did he get that to fall?
He went off. He elevated off the wrong foot and then awkwardly threw up a lefty. A left-handed shot.
13-point lead for Orlando with 6:41 to go. 22 points, 16 boards tonight for Malone. Offensive foul upon Horace Grant.
He definitely moved. anytime that you set a screen, you have to hold the screen as the player dribbles off. Keep an eye on this now. As Shaw comes over the top, you see the screen, but now he moves, and they called it, he moved into Stockton. But, you know, you could have called a foul on Stockton for using his hands to push him out of the way.
But not tonight. You know, he's had a hard enough time.
Yeah, you're right.
Chris Morris can't get the shot up, and it's going to belong to Utah with 16 seconds remaining. Penny Hardaway gets back in for Anthony Bowie, gave him some good quality time off the bench. As Hubie pointed out, Bowie's been doing that all year. This Orlando team is deep. They're experienced. The only thing that's going to satisfy them, or Malone misses a short shot. It'll be Utah's ball. The only thing that will satisfy Utah, the Orlando Magic or the Orlando Magic front office and fans and press will be a return to the finals.
Yeah, I buy that. But then again, you know, when we get to the playoffs, to that second round in the Eastern Conference, you're going to have some dynamite matchups.
Home court, and home court.
And there are going to be no gimmies at that time.
Malone with the turnaround, and the Magic lead has been cut to 11 with 6:03 to go.
Not impossible, but the defense has got to really button up here right now. You're playing Karl Malone as your center. They're not that big on the floor from a defensive rebounding standpoint.
Chris Morris on Anthony Hardaway. That's 17 rebounds, 18 rebounds for Malone. He has this year's NBA high of 22. That's in jeopardy tonight. Antoine Carr missing. Chris Morris and Keith battling for it, and Hardaway, the point guard, at 6'8", with the rebound. Brian Shaw left open for the jumper. Stockton's been burned defensively.
Well, that time, yeah, that was smart by Shaw. He went away from the screen and roll, and then it rolled back to it, and Stockton tried to cheat by going underneath it.
Chris Morris never saw an open shot he didn't like. And Chris tonight has 19. His season average is 13-9.
Yeah, well, Morris and Malone are the only two guys who are in any kind of a groove from the offensive floor. But the big factor is the defense. They are just punishing them at the defensive end of the floor.
5 to shoot. Ball fake and a drive by Dennis Scott. Here comes Utah quickly ahead to Malone. Can't handle it. Orlando ball.
Magic substitution, number 25.
Nick Anderson comes back into the ball game for Brian Shaw. Magic by 11 with 4:32 to go.
Well, they're very tough in this building. Yeah, they're going for their 12th win. We know it's not a definite knockout yet, but we're close.
Matter of fact, 18 wins at home in a row in the regular season dating back to last March. Dennis Scott.
Now that was big time. He just took Keith right down inside, spun back on the reverse, and then threw the fadeaway off the glass.
Once again in primetime national television, Dennis Scott outscores his average. Scott tonight with 26. He averages 20.7. Morris for 3. Rebound Keith. He's fouled. It's a three-point opportunity for Adam.
Yeah, at the beginning of this game, in the first quarter, we tried to bring out the point of the Utah bench. It's one of the top 3 groups in production. But if you think about who gets it done, it's Keith, Antoine Carr, and Hornacek. And when you think about it tonight, Antoine Carr, Keith have been almost non-existent, and Hornacek is struggling getting good looks at the basket.
Carr has 13 points, and Hornacek does too, but those points have come very hard for them tonight. Orlando by 10. It's been about a 10-point game since very early. Shaquille is going to return for his 3rd appearance in tonight's game. Anderson, 3. So many weapons.
You just love the unselfishness. Once again, Hardaway could have shot over the top to Stockton. He takes the double team, kicks it out, wide open shot.
Illegal defense called against Orlando as Shaquille O'Neal comes back on.
Number 32, Shaquille O'Neal.
For Joe Wolf.
Replacing Joe Wolf.
Antoine Carr will shoot the technical free throw. Carr, 78% free throw shooter. You'd have thought it would have been John Stockton. Would you not?
Yeah, I would think so, especially since Stockton is shooting 85% from the floor.
13-point lead for Orlando with 3:15 to go. It's been as though Utah's been running in mud tonight. Stockton from 18 feet. Well, he's going to end up with a few points here tonight after going 0 for 8 until he hit his first basket. Orlando by 11. 2:50 to go in the game, and Anderson now handling it out at the point, looking for Hardaway to post up or to pop out to the free throw line. Shaquille's messed up that basket again. Stockton. That's a three. Look out.
Look out. We're right back to 8:20 go. We said they're not a big three-point shooting team, but they have 5 guys shooting over 40%, so it is there for them.
And Stockton has 7 points in the last 5 minutes after being on the schneid the whole game. But look out for Dennis Scott. A penetration and the kick out to Anderson. He's fouled on the drive with 5 seconds on the shot clock and 2:11 in the game. And a timeout charge to Orlando, leading by 8. Utah refuses to fold up their tent.
Time is running out, but there's one last chance at big year-end savings. It's Hyundai's Beat the Clock clearance. Time for up to $1,500 factory cash on an airbag-equipped 95 Elantra. Time for a durable fun-to-drive 96 Accent at only $8,285. Even time for $1,000 factory cash on a luxurious 95 Sonata. It's the biggest event of the year. So beat it to your Hyundai dealer now, because there's no time like the present. Call 1-800-826-CARS for the Hyundai dealer nearest you.
You've heard a lot of talk about the future of cable. At Jones Intercable, the future is here. This fall, after years of work and millions of dollars in technological improvements, we are activating our new fiber optic head end. The result? A cleaner, more vibrant picture and dramatically improved reliability. It's just one of the many steps forward we're taking to build the new Jones Intercable.
A special announcement from Ford.
This market area has been selected to temporarily receive Ford's lowest financing of the year. 4.9% APR or $600 cash back on a huge selection of 96 Ford cars, including Mustang, Contour, Windstar, even the all-new 96 Taurus. Or get 3.9 financing or $750 cash back on every 95 Escort.
This unprecedented 4.9 offer on nearly every Ford car, including the 96 Taurus, is for a limited time. So see your local Ford dealer now.
Well, John Stockton has scored 7 points in the last 5 minutes, but Craig Sager, he's been struggling, particularly with his ankle injury.
You're right, Bob. He did score all his points in this quarter. The last time we won a whole game without scoring was when he came off the bench to replace Ricky Green. That was about a decade ago. But the ankle injury came against Denver when he stepped on the foot of Dikembe Mutombo, our studio guest. By the way, Fulton Spencer, the center, is also playing with an injury, courtesy of Mutombo. They've bumped shoulders. So maybe Dikembe, Defensive Player of the Year, is showing his wrecking force.
Yeah, I think we'll find out if Ernie Johnson's injured tonight. You know, if Ernie shows up injured, I think we'll have something to go there on Dikembe. Anderson to the free throw line. 2:11 to go in this game. The 8-point lead goes to 9.
Well, Nick has really had a terrific season. 37 minutes. He's right at 17 points. And the big factor, he's right at 7 rebounds. Not bad for your 2 guards.
10-point lead. Nick has 14 tonight, 12 in the second half. He was really struggling in the first half of play. Stockton with the pass into Chris Morris, who runs right into Shaquille, and we'll have a jump ball. Shaquille O'Neal's return tonight, I would just venture a guess, will have to be rated as successful.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he shows absolutely no signs of having a problem with the hand. He's gone for the thunder dunks, and you know he's hitting the rim on those. Plus, he has just been outstanding with his back to the basket with his offensive moves.
Played 22 minutes, scored 23 points, has 10 rebounds. He's even knocked down a few free throws. He is 7 of 12 from the line. welcome back Shaquille. Should be a terrific matchup against the New York Knicks and Patrick Ewing next Friday night, and we will have that on TNT at 8 Eastern Time. Malone missing and then fouling over the back of Horace Grant with 1:44 to go.
Both teams are shooting a penalty.
This is the beginning of a 6-game road trip here in the East for Utah. Last year, Utah only lost 4 games on the road all year. A reminder to stay tuned for Inside the NBA coming up next with all of tonight's scores and highlights. A look at the resurgent Sacramento Kings playing Houston tonight. Pat Riley will talk about next week's return to New York. So it'll be interesting to see Miami up against the Knicks next week.
Well, Utah, from here, they go to Miami tomorrow night. Then they go up to play New Jersey, Philadelphia, Cleveland, and then end the trip in Chicago.
See the other scores tonight. Boston got the win. That Boston now above 500 at 11-10. Detroit with their 9th win. Indiana beats Milwaukee easily. Derek McKee playing well tonight. Here, a 10-point lead for Orlando with 1:38 to go. Stockton looking inside, finds Carr. The defense and the rotations by Orlando have been spectacular tonight.
Yes, they have. They've taken away the obvious move once Orlando double team. They take that away, then you look for the second option. They've been able to take that away, and that takes 5 guys working hard.
There's a great example of it shown on that replay right there.
Well, I also feel that tonight the spacing of Utah is totally out of whack. There's no doubt about that. They have 2 guys in the same area a number of times, so one defender can play 2 offensive players. Jerry's very concerned. We know not only because of the way they played here this evening, but he knew that coming in. He just felt that the team is out of sync at an offensive standpoint. The ball is not moving properly. They can't hit open shots. They're asking the 2 and the 3 position to give them a higher shooting field goal percentage.
Yet they've hung in and still trailed by 8 with 1:17 to go. They're not going to win this game, but once again, they didn't allow themselves to be blown out. Anthony Hardaway's been quiet in the second half. Anderson open for the 3 from Hardaway. Anderson now has 17 points in this game, 3 triples, and 15 points for Nick Anderson here in the second half.
Anderson and Scott put so much pressure on your defense because between the 2 guys, they launched 13 threes, and both of them are high percentage 3-point shooters.
Shaquille O'Neal's still on the floor. Will finish the game on the floor tonight. Shaquille will probably get in about 24 minutes, as Brian Hill said is what he hoped to do. The lob from Dennis Scott to the shack.
Anytime you full court press, when they go from sideline to sideline, it stretches the defense. Just a beautiful pass by Scott.
Shaquille O'Neal with 25 points in this game tonight, and he and Carr mix it up again, and Carr gets hit in the mouth.
Foul number 55, Antoine Carr.
And Carr gets the foul, too. Here's the lob.
Yeah, this is just a nice move. Scott could have forced the shot himself, but he's very smart. He knows. Give it to the big fella. He's back with us tonight. Let it keep him happy.
Between the 2 of them, 51 points. 26 for Scott, 25 for Shaquille. If he knocks down a free throw, he'll match Scott's points for high score in the game in only 24 minutes of play. 5 dunks, 10 rebounds. And now that's the free throw. That's the free throw we're used to seeing. Scott jumps in his face on that. Knocks this one down, though. I don't know. That brace may be something, Huey.
Well, no, it's you like to see him be able to conquer that because the rest of his game is just so awesome.
Chris Morris. Here comes Shaquille handling the ball, fouled in the backcourt by Chris Morris, and Shaquille will go to the line with 21 seconds to go in the game. Brian Shaw, John Koncak, Joe Wolf. You're looking at the Orlando bench. John Koncak told me today he'll be more comfortable playing in the role they brought him here to play, and that's not to say he didn't like starting, but he said, that's what I'm here to do, and I'll be more comfortable because I can contribute there.
Well, he does an excellent job. See, he's a good defensive center, a shot blocker, and he did an excellent job for them rebounding-wise. But his presence, anytime that you get a guy who can defend and then help you in all of your defensive rotations and understand the scheme, he is a major asset. Forget about whether he fouls out of all those games because he was expendable. He has made a major impact here for this ball club.
Stockton on the drive and the dish to Carr, to Malone. Nobody wants it and nobody can score it here tonight. It's one of those nights for the Utah Jazz with 7.2 seconds to go. The foul is on Shaquille. 111-97, the Magic winning streak at home here that dates back to March of last year in regular season games will go to 19, and this will be 12 straight wins at home here in 1995. We talk about how well the Magic have played at home.
Well, last year they were 39-2. This year 11-0. But the Boston Celtics in 1986 were 40-1 and backed it up in 87, 39-2.
111-99 with 5 seconds to go. Orlando gets this game, and Utah has a lot of work to do on this road trip. They'll go face Miami soon. So it's been a combination of Shaquille O'Neal and Dennis Scott in the game tonight as Shaquille returns for the first time tonight and is going to come join us over here at our table. But first, let's go to Craig Sager and the other man who got it done tonight.
Well, there were some that said Shaq's return would have a dramatic impact on Dennis Scott, that he wouldn't get his 17 shots a game. Tonight, 17 shots, again, 26 points, a great game. How did you fit in with Shaq?
I think the biggest thing is coming to the game, I didn't want to stop my intensity or my offensive aggressiveness. And I knew I was going to get open threes once he got double teamed, but we got our break going. Penny Hardaway did a great job finding me on the break for spot up threes. Anthony Goury and Nick Anderson.
We always knew you were a good shooter, but Hubie Brown also complimenting the defense tonight, the rotation. How has your game improved, particularly with how you worked out in the offseason?
Well, I think the biggest thing, I played a lot of basketball. I owe a lot of it playing the Urban Coalition League in the D.C. area. And just playing basketball all year and just keeping pace and just making sure I'm taking my time, letting the game come to me, and I'm not forcing anything. That's why I think everything's going pretty well for me.
Shaq also had 26 points, but that was courtesy of you. You had a layup down here. You passed it up to set up the big guy. Why?
Well, I want to get him into the flow of the game. I know that when he gets double teamed, he's going to look for me, and we're all, so unselfish. We want everyone to do well. So a couple of times you do that to get him going. The next thing I know, he kicked it out for me for a three.
Well, your big guy's over there with Bob Neal. Normally, that's your seat. But I had to talk to you here. Let's go to Bob.
I'm sure Dennis doesn't mind passing it up to Shaquille O'Neal. 24 minutes tonight for Shaq. 26 points, 11 boards, 8 of 16 from the free throw line. First question to ask you is, how does the hand fare with your first action back, Shaq?
It feels pretty good. As long as I got this little piece of plastic under it, I think I'll be okay.
In all of the Thunder dunks tonight, Shaq, did you have any irritation at all hitting the rim?
Not really. I had to learn to get over that fear. When I first took the cast off, the doctor had told me not to take it off, but I took it off anyway, and I had to learn how to catch, and I had to learn how to slam all over again. So I had to do, 23 years of work pretty fast.
Well, tonight I thought your offensive moves with your back to the basket were terrific. Did you work on those even, while you had the cast on?
When I had took the cast off, I had worked with a guy named Brad Seisler, and I think I'm a pretty good reactionist. I'm looking for the dunk first, but if the dunk is not there, I'm looking for my jump hook, and if my jump hook is not there, then I'm just going to, react to whatever move is open. And early, they didn't, double me, so I think I reacted pretty well.
Shaquille, while you were out, a lot of people were talking about Shaquille will get back and play about 60 games, then maybe be a free agent headed somewhere else. You've been indicated that your desire, at least at this point, is to stay here in Orlando. Is that how you feel about it?
Well, I'm a, professional. Right now I'm still with the Orlando Magic, and I'll probably end my career here.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be good news for all the folks here. 17,248. They added 1,200 seats again this year. They may add 1,200 again next year. Congratulations, your team now 11-0 at home. And Hubie and I and TNT will be back next week for your battle against New York and Patrick Ewing on Friday night.
All right.
See you then. Shaquille O'Neal with his return after missing 22 games. The hand is back. Shaquille is back. And so is the enthusiasm here at the O-Arena in Orlando, Florida. Back for final comments and a wrap-up right after this.